It's been a little while since I flat out did everything I could do to get copyright strike or whatever they call it. Now, listen, this is fair use. I'm going to play some music for you, my friends. And in the end, I'm going to sing you a song. I don't know how else to say it other than karaoke style. So we're going to start with this. As I just got in, I'm starting to pick my nose. Well, I talk to you. That's how prepared I am. I just got in, and I'm going to get up and stretch my legs, so to speak. I just didn't want to be too late. I'm going to do probably not every day. I don't know. But I'm going to continue because it's come to my attention that BitChute. I mean, I haven't even looked at BitChute. I forgot that this automatically uploads. So hi, BitChute. Everybody over there at BitChute watching, thank you very much. Make some comments. If it wasn't for the comment that I just got, I wouldn't have known for who knows how long. First comment I've got in a long time. But they get many times more views than I get on YouTube. I'm assuming it's because nobody fools with the algorithms. And now many times more. I don't mean it's a ton. But it gets more views. And hi, everybody. They don't censor me there. So I don't think this would be taken down, in any way, shape, or form. And if it was ever taken down and just automatically was taken down by YouTube, why? I imagine I'd roll on over there and change things. So here's a great tune for y'all to limber up on.
Walking down this rocky road, wondering where my life is leading, rolling on to the bitter end, finding out along the way what it takes to keep love living. You should know how it feels, my friend. I want you to stay. I want you to stay. I'm ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Yeah. Oh, for your love. Now I'm on my feet again. Better things are bound to happen. All my dues surely must be paid. Many miles and many tears. Times were hard, but now they're changing. You should know that I'm not afraid. I want you to stay. I want you to dance. I'm ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love.
Trying to get my composure back here. Thank you and welcome. I can't see who's here unless you chat. And we're not even gonna play that one today. And of course, only chat if you feel like it. So I don't know. I was gonna play another one, but just gonna let this fly. Let me get my breath together.
Held me spellbound in the night, dancing shadows and firelight, crazy laughter in another room. She drove herself to madness with a silver spoon. Ooh, witchy woman, see how high she flies. Ooh,
Welcome.
witchy woman, she got the moon.
Back on the streets. Well, then I reckon this one's for you. I'm gonna give this a shot. Hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy singing it. Tarzan wasn't a ladies' man. He'd just come along and scoop him up under his arm like that, just as quick as a cat in the forest. Clark Kent, there was a real gent. He would not be caught wasting his time in no jungle scheme, just as dumb as an ape doing nothing. Superman never made any money saving the world from Sodom and Grande. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. Hey Bob, Soup's got a straight job, even though he could just bust through any bank in the United States. He has the strength, but he would not. Folks said that his family was all dead. His planet crumbled, yeah, but Superman, he found the strength to carry on. Just leave Krypton and keep going. Superman never made any money saving the world from Sodom and Grande. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. Tarzan was king of the forest and lord over all of the apes, but he could hardly string together 4 words. I'm Tarzan, Eugene. Sometimes Soup was stopping crimes. I bet he was tempted just to quit and turn his back on man. Join Tarzan in the forest. He stayed in the city, kept with changing clothes and dirty old phone booths till his work was through. was nothing to do but go on home. Superman never made anybody saving the world from Solomon Grundy. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. I really liked that band when they were, back in the 90s. Band called Crash Test Dummies. And I tried to, do that song some justice there, and hopefully I did do it some justice. If not full, then possibly I stayed on tune accidentally once or twice. And as I often say, music, man, it's such a release. It's such a. I'm gonna tell you something. I use this song, this very emotional song to me, this very important song to me, to make a very important point to you. The fact that modern music, for the most part, sucks. That's what I'm positing now. It's my hypothesis at the moment. Modern music sucks. If you disagree, you can either tell me what's great right now immediately, or you can bear with me and then dispute my argument when I'm through. And because modern music sucks, excuse me 1 second, pardon me. And because modern music sucks, it is affecting the youth in a very detrimental way. It's hurting our youth. When I was young, we had the PMRC. Yes, Tipper Gore was coming out. Man, you had great people. It was actually John Ward just had on today, Sundays We Rest. It's one of his spots that he does on Sunday, obviously. And he did a clip from John Denver from 1984. This beautiful man, John Denver, would made beautiful songs that would make a strong man weep. It would fill us a mourning man with joy. I mean, just a wonderful songwriter and beautiful human being. And he's there explaining to them that he understood. Blackie Lawless was there. Twisted Sister, Dee Snider was there. And there was a couple others, but Frank Zappa also was there, historically significant. And then, of course, you had John Denver. And John Denver reminded him that even though he sang, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. And even though he sang, you fill up my senses like a night in the forest, and all these wonderful. He also sung Rocky Mountain High in Colorado, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. Seen it rain and fire in the sky. Sitting around the campfire, everybody getting high. These assholes don't understand that when they destroy music, when they destroy comedy, when they destroy black men for being black, yellow men for being yellow, and yes, folks, white men for being white. You are, when you make music suck, when the kids don't have an outlet, and yes, of course, some of them will hear Rocky Mountain High, and they will be thinking about getting high in all kinds of ways. Some of them, fishing on their kayaks in a secluded river somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Some of them will be thinking about crack. Yes, it's the way it is. It's the way music moves people. But that excellence, that wonderful expression the fact that there was once cool music and it was argued that, oh yeah, Suicide Solution, Ozzy Osbourne and all these other things, that we heard in these days, and they try to say that this was causing kids to commit suicide. They would play the records and then they would commit. Well, you know what? If they didn't do it for that, they would be listening to, country music. They could do, who knows? And so they fell into their depression, and whatever it was that was driving them into this deep state of depression was the last thing that we saw, that we viewed. Therefore, it became the poignant thing. Therefore, it became the focus point. It became the thing that we ascribe meaning to surrounding this whole event being suicide. And so it's easy. Okay, what? So Ozzy Osbourne made people kill themselves? No. Kids that didn't have parents to turn to, didn't have a support system. Everyone, when they were young, felt depressed. I'm very fortunate that I had, I wasn't the greatest. I'm not going to, but when I look back, I always try to remember that I'm alive and I made it. So I've got to look at the good side. I got to look at, and the good side is that I had a great supporting family, no matter how messed up they were. An excellent family that was there for me, that took care of me until I was able to take care of myself. And that's especially if you're a man, that's all that you can ever ask for. And some good music. Because now here we are. Another young white kid gone crazily awry. He's been told that he sucks. He has white privilege. He's wondering, where is it? Why can't I cash in on it? He's getting these books on white supremacy because he thinks maybe if the white privilege they speak of was real, I wouldn't be in this heinous position that I'm in right now. Maybe I would be further up the food chain. Maybe I would be something a little bit more than I am right now. And listen, am I empathizing with the shooter? Yes, for fuck's sake, yes. Lord, save me. Yes. Because if we don't try to delve into the mind of these people, Klebold, I could go on with the names. Why name off all the names? But if we don't examine them as much as we can, as much as we're able to stomach the examination, if we don't try to delve into their mind, if we don't empathize, if we don't put ourselves in their shoes, we will never understand why this goes on. And I believe I do, folks. I believe I have an idea. He's been told he has white privilege. He's been told this. He's been told that. He doesn't see it, not paying off. He's just a little funny looking little white dude. It's one thing to go up to the 6'3" white dude that comes from a upper middle class, lower wealthy family, $1 million a year or more income family. And to, look at him and say, well, he must have some white privilege. I don't agree with it. Whatever, I guess, but it's not white privilege. It's the status privilege. Where is that privilege? People forget. People want to close their mind to the fact that white people are a tiny percentage of the world population. We are actually the vast minority, not the majority. Look, I'm going to smoke some more tobacco, and you can't watch me do that anymore. I don't know why. I think it's stupid as hell, but you can look at my uncle, my grandma and grandpa. You can hardly see the little pictures, down under his shoulders, and the Mona Lisa there. So at least there's something to, occupy your visual field. So here we have this little guy, been told how privileged he is, how everything, and he probably, who knows, maybe tried to get. I'm thinking about all these kids. Some white kid, 5 foot, 5'6", not this kid. I'm making up. Bear with me. Follow me with me right now. I'm going to make up a hypothetical kid. I'm going to build a straw man. I'm going to explain something to you. I want to try to use an analogy to explain something that I believe is logical. So you have this, 5'6" white guy, nondescript, not pretty, not ugly, not handsome, not ugly, whatever, not blazingly intelligent, not remarkably stupid. Middle of the road, so middle of the road, pretty much idiocracy, middle of the road. Absolutely average in every way you can think of. He gets ready to go to college. He doesn't have, his parents don't make enough money. They can't, there's no way they can send him $65,000 a year, $50,000 at the bare minimum. That's a state university and a state you live in. And it wouldn't be like Michigan State. It's more than that. It's about 75, I imagine, 60 at least. They can't afford it. They can't do it. It's not that they don't want their children to make it. They cannot do it. And what would you want? You're going to ask your parents to take on this debt? They somehow, because they gave you life and gave you the ability to take and seize any opportunities that came your way to be anything that you wanted to be, even though they did that for you, now they also owe you what? Healthcare till you're 5, ability to live in their house. I mean, come on. I don't even have kids. I have one young man that I helped raise. I love him very much. He just sent me something on Facebook today. I should probably check out. Johnny Bravo in the chat from time to time. He very rarely comes by. Why? Because he's living his dream. He doesn't need me anymore. He's in the Air Force. He makes a very, very fat, fortunate living. He's very happy with what he does. Or was just playing. Oh, thank you for that. It's your opinion, but there is modern music, but then there's distribution. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, maybe there's modern music that's good. Okay, NS, maybe. But if there is, like you say, it's not being promoted. I'm not hearing it on the radio. And that's what I mean. I mean, something that can be in the kids' hands. When I was a youth, as I said, there was so much to choose from. We had a wide variety of great music. I just played 2 songs. The one was Bad Company, Ready for Love, performed by Bad Company. I think it's excellent tune. Kind of melancholy in a lot of ways, but it's an excellent tune. And then I sung Crash Test Dummies to a karaoke, just a karaoke soundtrack. And also very good tune, Crash Test Dummies, Superman song. These outlets I had, man, because I was able to go pour my heart out in some of these melancholy tunes, because I was able to go and I'll tell you something else. I believe that it went into overdrive because there was no racism in the 90s, folks. Sorry, I lived it. It was over. We celebrated the fact that racism didn't exist. That yes, there were still racists in the world, but it didn't exist. It didn't exist. The black folks were running around saying that Bill Clinton was the first black president. And I thought a lot of them that were saying it were crazy because he was obviously demonstrably white. But they said it, that's fine, because racism didn't exist. I didn't give a shit. Us white folks were running around saying shit too. And even when the O.J. Simpson thing came and it was like, oh, you're racist, I guess, if you think he's guilty, and you're stupid darky if you think he's innocent, blah, blah, blah. But that was just the way it was back then. If something was so divided down color lines, everybody got to say what they wanted to say. Nobody would come and take your job from you, people. So we got this guy. I mean, what, does he not like garlic breath? Maybe his old lady came home late one night and she really wasn't a drinker, but she went out with her boyfriend on the side, Biff, and he took her to a really fancy Italian restaurant and then banged the shit out of her. And when she came home, her breath smelled like penis and garlic. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That was a little sophomoric for this serious topic. But I mean, in the end, we got to kind of laugh a little bit because it's a terrible thing that's happened here. And I mean, the ones that got killed was a 13-year-old girl, like a 6-year-old boy, 8-year-old boy, very young boy, single digits. And then at double digits, but young, I believe, low 20s, young man. I mean, I see the pictures. Young Mexican girl, 13, young black boy, single digits, and low 20s black guy, just mowed him down, killed him. I don't know if he was picking out black folk or not. If he was, that's fucking sucks, man. It makes white people look bad doing that shit. I mean, it really does. I see that happen. And I think that might be one difference between our communities, and black people need to get on board when they see bad things happen in their community. They should be, upset by it, not condone it, not try to excuse it or blame cops or whatever, or some kind of systematic, institutional whatever. Insert BS here, because it's what it is. I mean, in the end, it's BS. Irregardless, good to see you. Very good to see you. Yeah, a gun did that, man. That's for sure. And here's the thing. I do believe that if we had a different culture, if we had backyard barbecues where people got together and this kid had umpteen friends and realized that, yes, maybe diversity would be a strength then. But there's no diversity now because people are driven into their individual hovels and we don't talk to each other as a rule. We don't get together and have block parties as a rule. We don't, go and borrow a cup of sugar. We don't go. We don't do these things, and we really, if things were to get better, that's what we need more of: more families, more close families, extended families that are close, where you're close with your in-laws as much as you are with your regular family, with your, if that's what you want to call it, with your bloodline family, and then after that, you're close with your neighbors and your community. Your neighborhood, and then your city, your township, your state, your country, your world. There's nothing wrong with that either. When they start breaking that down, it's like, well, Woger, what you just said was that you need to be tribalistic and you need to be focused more on your family and your community than you do your city, and more your city than you do. Yes, exactly. I mean, it's fine. And it's not only true, it's common sense. But that's why the common sense guy calling himself that, because there ain't no such freaking thing as common sense. You can't expect people, what a lot of people believe as common sense isn't real, it's not true. They believe something is false. And a lot of times what people should know just because they don't. So common sense, I mean, they're really honest to goodness, is no such thing. So this kid goes and starts mowing people down. I had to practice the Superman song, even though I played that in my band. And, in between sets, that was where each one of us would play a song or two. We'd each had to have four. The drummer, all three of us had to have a tune because, if we want to take a little extra break, and we did, somebody would come on and play 2 or 3 tunes, on a long break in between sets. And that's one that I would play pretty often. But I had to practice a couple times because thinking about this, man, I was thinking about it and it was making me weep, people. It was making me weep. This guy there was these kids that were alive couple days ago, now they're dead, and I really don't. One of the things that I don't want to do is in an uncontrolled way, blah, 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 right here, even though there's not a ton of us here, but there's enough that it matters. That we need to look at these things with seriousness, but with a dry eye. I mean, let's remember this, the rifle that this kid used here, this something 10, it's like it's a variation of AK-47, I do believe. I think it's semi-automatic, but the rifle itself is illegal in California. So what are they going to do now? What would they say? For A, let's start. It's illegal to go and menace people with a weapon, a firearm, at the Garlic Festival, at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. Okay, it's illegal to fire a weapon at the Gilroy Garlic Festival, firearm, pow, pow, pow in the air. It's illegal to point your weapon as somebody at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. It's illegal to shoot someone at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. In the end, the rifle use is illegal on top of that, which it shouldn't have been. But everything he did was illegal. We don't need adding one more law to it. He knew there were cops. He knew there were metal detectors. He cut a thing in the fence. If you think that you're going to stop somebody by making it illegal, he proved you're not. They had metal detectors, they had police, and that gun was illegal where he was at. He got the gun. He got it there. He cut the fence. He got inside. He laid waste 3 beautiful individuals. I looked at this chubby little Mexican girl, man, and I thought, what if that was my little chubster? I shouldn't even say it like that because it's modern age. And no, I shouldn't have, folks. That's me saying that. What would I say to her, though? This little angel, this girl. And how would it be if that was my girl gone? And for what? Because society wants there to be race problems? Because of this insane Hegelian dialectic that they run on us time and time again, whether it be, Building 7 and, whatever it might be. I was about ready to just start rattling off, Lusitania, Tonkin, Project Northwoods. There's so many things. But whatever. Eventually, if you just start rattling off things that the government's done that are really, really bad that we know about, it still makes you sound crazy. It's like, what do you think? The government's going to do something bad again? Yeah, they already do. They require me to carry an ID with me everywhere I damn go. Got to register my car every year. Why would I need to register every year? It's the same car. The sticker would last for 4 or 5 years. I'd say 5 years is still pretty intrusive. 10 years seems reasonable, I guess. I mean, if you want to make sure at 10 years, after a decade, if you want to make sure that I still have that vehicle and I haven't sold it, re-register it, fresh up the paperwork, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Every year, it's a hidden tax. And it's a hidden tax because it's different depending upon the vehicle you get. You could have a 250 motorcycle, might cost you $15, $20. You can have my Mercury Marquis. Jesus, I don't even remember what it is. Like $109 or more a year. My wife's car is a little less than that because it's smaller. My truck, a little more than that because it's bigger. I mean, it's crazy. And we sit for it. We sit here for it. Oh, you're starting to sound like some kind of libertarian or ANCAP ogre. Yeah, I'm anarcho-capitalist all the way. People say that. Still, you're stupid. Okay, fine, whatever. The system that's here now isn't working, but most people want it to keep going. So I'm stupid, and you're schizophrenically insane. At least the insane definition, according to Albert Einstein, and he wasn't a psychologist. So whatever. People can have different opinions. But we also have to mingle logic in with it, at least a little bit. So this guy cuts the fence, gets in there, boom, 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 boom. Some brave soul pipes up, why are you doing this? Because I'm angry. Very angry, he says. I bet he is. You got to be pretty fucking angry to start mowing down little 13-year-old chubsters. I don't think there's nothing else called. She's a chubby little Mexican girl. Chubby cheek, round face. She's, The little boy, also just a button, man. The little button, gone. Fuck, gone. I don't have survivor's guilt, but I can't help it. It strikes me that here I sit alive, and these youngsters will never take breath again. They're gone forever, wiped away. History will forget about them in another 10 years. You'll have to jog everybody's memory. You even remember the Gilroy garlic incident because it seemed like here in this country where we have a large cabal of people stirring up trouble, Hegelian dialectic style, stirring up problem, reaction, solution. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis for those of you that are a little bit nerdier. It's all the same. Start problems. When the problem occurs, step in and say, we have the solution, and enact the laws that you wanted to enact from the very beginning. That's the whole idea. And then it's like, what has Congress been doing? They've been arguing about Trump. Man, I hope they still keep arguing about impeachment and quit passing laws because that's what they're saying. I heard it on on Fox News. I can't remember what lawmaker it was, but they were saying 200 and some odd days, they haven't done anything. They've not passed one bill. They've been subpoenaed and this and that, but not one new law. Bill, new law. He kept saying bill, but new law, not one new law. When we were there, the same amount of days, we passed 100 and I think it was actually 200. 200, that's like a new law a day. Wow. And you're a Republican, take him out and shoot him. Take him out back and shoot him. Where's Aaron Burr? Mr. Burr? Mr. Burr. Oh, you're still with Alexander Hamilton? Okay. When you're done with him, can I have your attention for a moment? We'll need you. And that's why they stopped it. It's not because it's not right and just for one lawmaker to go, you know what, you're a scumbag. And if they can't work it out by talking, then you have to work it out by pistolas. That is what happened with Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton was a loudmouth too, by the way. Though you've heard stories about how Burr was terrible. That's what you've been lied to, all right? Been lied to. What's with the dots there, memes? What does that mean, memes? Thank you very much for the congrats on the 1,047 subs. It's down. I was up to as high as like 1,100 or something, but it goes up and down. But over the period of last year, it's been more down than up because I'm down. But it's fine. It's cool. Appreciate it. I think in reality, I have about maybe 100 honest to goodness subs, 100 people that rotate around. And that's fine. That's good. That's all we want. That's all we need around here. Don't blame Whitey. Blame the inanimate object. Say it was a gun. Well, and Whitey. Oh. Yeah, ban criminality, irregardless says and that's probably the problem. I mean, not probably. That's the problem with new laws, more laws, more laws, more gun laws, more gun laws, more gun laws. Enact something else. Make sure no one can do anything that we don't regulate. Here's to liberty and what it once was, and may it come back again. I hope it does one day, but here's to liberty. Whew, that's good. Well, folks, I ain't going to be here much longer. Got some things to do, and it sure has been a lot of fun. But I'll try to get back tomorrow about the same time and see if we can't talk about the news or whatever's on our minds, whatever we're thinking about, whatever we want to discuss. But until then, be good to your friends, be good to your family members, be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, family member, or loved one has done seems to be so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because constant viewers, my beloved friends, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, your life, and everything you know will depart from you. Yeah, God bless the USA.